Hello and welcome to Sean Ruins Fitness. I'm here with my friends, Dan and Becca. I'm bringing Becca in today. She's, a realtor. You're a crazy person that needs a camera around her all the time.
No. Definitely not that one. The first one, yes, not the second one.
I think you told me that someone said that about you, though.
Yep, it's true.
And you're also one of my clients.
I am, unfortunately.
Well, that's fun.
I feel your pain.
No, I feel the pain, I think.
Me too, that's what I meant, yeah.
Well, she is.
I think I'm the one who feels most of the pain, so.
Oh, he's good at making you hurt.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to tell everyone that, are we?
Forget I said that.
No, they're not going to forget now. It's all over. It's all out there. It's
too late.
Thanks a lot.
Can't back that train up.
No, it's fine. So, no, awesome person. Just welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate
Glad
it.
you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Dan, you're still here.
I don't know why, but yeah, I am.
Why haven't you gone anywhere?
I had nothing to do tonight,
okay.
you know.
Well, that's great.
I was going to do my hair, and I thought, oh, I'll come over here.
Figure we'd ruin some fitness stuff. What do we
Yeah.
mean by ruining fitness? Let's explain that really quickly.
Misconceptions, you know.
Yes.
People feel there's always one way that they were taught to do it, and then after all these years, they realize, well, I was doing it completely wrong. Oh, and I should have been doing it a different way.
Or just following trends. The wrong trends.
Absolutely. There are quite a few trends made by marketers. A lot of things that are just kind of made by people within the field. Maybe they don't even know better. And we're here to bust those. We're here to bust through that and make sure to teach people what they should be taught. What is the actual truth about what's happening in this field? So I'm the owner of JRT Fit, J Range Training, as you know, because you come here. I'm a fellow with the National Board of Fitness Examiners, and if you don't agree with something that I say that's fantastic. If you're someone within the field, I would absolutely love to debate you, and I'll have my friends here as well. We'll talk about it. We'll hit the research hard. It will be less of a discussion, more kind of fun debate like that. So opening that up to anyone who disagrees. And other than that, let's get talking about some stuff. I wanted to bring up a kind of an interesting topic, eating before you work out.
Ooh.
Eating, and really quickly,
Yep.
let me come back to our viewers here and our listeners. These guys have no idea at all what we're going to talk about. And to be honest, I just kind of randomly make up what we're going to talk about
It's true.
while we come up here, and I didn't know 10 minutes ago. So, but right now, this is what we're talking about. Eating before a workout. Now,
Perfect.
there are a lot of people that say don't eat anything before a workout. There are a lot of people that say eat protein before a workout. There are people that say eat a full meal before a workout. What's right?
Well, I know it feels good with me.
What feels good
I
with
don't
you?
eat before I go to a workout because I'm full.
Okay.
You're
That's
full?
it.
You don't.
Yeah.
What
If
about
I'm-
breakfast?
Oh, no, I have breakfast.
What time's your workout? That's the important first
What time
question.
is
What
my
time
workout?
is your workout? Yeah. So we have to separate this. Like, are you a morning workouter? There are people who wake up right off the bat, and then they go out and they either A, eat something small, B, go straight away and don't eat anything at all.
No, I usually eat something small, take the dog for a quick one, and then, you know, it's either going to work after that and then hitting the gym after work.
So you're an afternooner. So
Yes. Yeah.
So for you, this is less usually of an issue because you've already eaten a couple of
Yeah.
times throughout the day. Now you still
I-
may wait
Yep, I go to the gym.
far too long
And then
after
I-
lunch or something like that. But
And after I'm done with work, I go work out. Then I come home, I have what I eat.
okay, what about you?
I'm not a morning worker-outer.
Worker outer?
Yep.
Worker.
I'm also not an afternoon work-outer.
Worker outer.
Worker-outer.
She just doesn't work out.
Nope. However, that 10 a.m.,
Yeah.
that's gold for me. 9 a.m., I can do that. I don't like
Okay.
the 6 a.m. stuff because,
Have you done the 6 a.m.?
many times.
Okay, so
Many,
let's talk about that. When you
Okay.
did do the 6 a.m., what did you end up doing when you ate?
Nothing really.
You wouldn't eat and you went
not
straight
usually.
into it?
Yep.
Was it because you weren't hungry, you couldn't eat, or was
Yes.
it because of something that someone taught you?
It was more like my body couldn't I couldn't do it. One, I wake up 3 minutes before the workout starts.
Okay.
So that's one issue.
Is that procrastination or no
Yes.
time?
Procrastination, want to get as much sleep as possible.
Okay.
Two, if I didn't have it, like a granola bar readily handy, then I just wouldn't eat anything.
Okay.
And so, yeah, most of the time I just wouldn't eat for 6 a.m.s or whatever.
Okay, and how'd that make your workouts go? Were they pretty hard workouts? Was it hard to do that?
Yes, I'm referring back to like college soccer.
Sure.
And so we had 6 a.m.s every morning, and I never ate. I hated every second of it, and I was exhausted the whole time. So
did you think it was a good idea or a bad idea?
I mean, hindsight, probably not a good idea. At the time, it felt
everything,
right.
yeah, everything's
At the time,
20/20
it
in
felt
hindsight,
great.
So it's not really
Yeah.
okay. So, have you guys heard of Bill Phillips at all?
Heard of what?
Bill Phillips?
Football coach?
No, he
Bill
was the
Phillips.
owner of EAS, the supplement company.
No, I am
Okay.
not.
So he wrote an article back when I was actually in college that I remember is 1999 or something like that. And he said basically that you want to work out on an empty stomach because you end up burning more body fat. So have you ever heard that before?
Yes,
No.
I have.
You have?
I have heard that before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where have you heard it from?
Good question. I
You
don't
don't know?
know. Just
Yeah, just
around
randomly.
articles.
So I think
reading.
it spawned a lot from that because he was very influential
Probably.
and he's a very smart guy. I actually knew his brother, Sean Phillips, briefly. So, and he was a nice guy as well. And I think that's kind of where that really spread a lot, where I ended up seeing a lot of people at the gym going, "Hey, I'm not going to eat anything." And then I have a fun story about that. Okay, so I was at the gym once, and there was this lady that comes running out saying, "Hey, there needs a guy. We need a guy in the locker room." I'm like, I'm a guy. I'm going to go. And I go in, and there's this guy laying there bleeding from his head. I'm like, okay, let's see if I can help him. He's trying to get up. I'm like, "Sir, just stay there. EMS is coming. You're good." And he's bleeding, and I attempt to help him stop the bleeding and everything, add the pressure, and then he's like, "I think I'm going to fall asleep." And I was like, "Nah, it's not the best idea. Why don't you just talk to me?" And I'm talking to him about things, and I said, "Okay, so what'd you do today? What'd you end up working out or anything?" And he said, "Yeah, I worked out for like an hour and a half, and then I went in the sauna for like a half an hour." I was like, "Oh, okay." And he said, "I got just really dizzy, and I came and took a shower, hot shower, and then the next thing I remember, I was on the floor." And I said, "Wow, that's not good."
No, but
What did you eat this morning? He said, "I had a piece of toast." What else? That's all. Okay. Why'd you only eat a piece of toast? Well, if you were as fat as me, you would only eat a piece of toast too. That was his response to me. And I was like, wow, that's sad. That's really, I mean, it stinks because it's a sad story about someone where they believed what these people were teaching so much that it's like, oh, you need to basically not, and obviously he ate something. He didn't go on an empty stomach, but he barely ate anything. He definitely didn't eat the right thing. And then he worked his butt off way more than he needed to because he was under the impression that that's the best way.
Right.
Now,
misconception.
yeah,
True.
yeah. So it could be harmful. It could be really harmful.
Yeah.
And the ruining portion of it is that you need energy. You absolutely need energy in order to actually work out. Is that surprising at all?
Well, I mean, if you're going to
Just-
go skiing is a workout too.
No,
Skiing?
it's fun.
It truly is. But the way I skiing is a workout. Because I go after it. And if I'm going to go, I have oatmeal with raisins.
So you go up the hill.
I don't skip hill. Look at me. Do I look like I go uphill? I am gravity fed. I go downhill fast. But oatmeal
ya.
with some brown sugar and raisins before I hit the mountain, that's great. You know, by 10 o'clock, I have an energy bar. Boom, I'm skiing.
Okay.
And at 1 o'clock, it's lunch.
Now, I would say that that's not still the best way to eat right beforehand, but you're on kind of the right track. At least you're eating something that is better than toast.
True. And it holds you over. Oatmeal will hold you through.
The oatmeal is a great complex carbohydrate by itself. The brown sugar Ooh.
Well, the brown sugar makes it so it doesn't taste like paste, like paper mache.
Do you like honey?
I do, and I use the blue agave, which I like also.
Agave is not honey. I didn't ask that.
True, I use them both, but it just
Did you hear
depends
me
on.
say agave? Did I say agave?
I didn't hear
Nope,
it.
you said
Did that come
honey.
out of
He
my
did it.
mouth?
He said it.
He said agave? Why did he say
No, I do
agave?
like honey, the one
I like
type you
agave
use,
fermented
but
in tequila.
Really?
it just depends.
Just throwing it out there.
The honey does give you energy, and I do have those honey sticks I keep in my pocket.
Okay.
You bite the top off, and it's like
Yeah.
a straw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the highest
on the
quality
lift.
honey you could possibly get.
I sit on the lift, I hit 3-4 of them, and I am good to go.
Buzzing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we have a couple of issues with that. Number one, what type of oats are you eating? Number two, the
Steel
brown
cut.
sugar. I don't like that. Well, not just the steel cut, which is fine, but is it organic? Is it not? What brand is it? Is it pre-cooked? Is it not pre-cooked? Is it?
I use the type my cardiologist recommended. It's an old school
How many
steel cut.
how many nutrition classes does a cardiologist have to take?
Is this like a joke?
No.
No.
It's a real question.
I don't think my
Zero.
cardiologist is the smartest guy out there.
No, I'm not saying that they're not smart. If they're a cardiologist, they have
He
to do
knows
quite
his
a bit.
game for
Yeah,
what he's
absolutely.
doing.
Yeah, it's just that's not their field. They're not required to learn anything about nutrition, and the majority of the cardiology schools don't even offer a nutrition class. So to learn from a cardiologist nutrition, I'm sorry, that's not.
Well, he
Do
was.
you see what
trying
I'm
to-
saying on
Uh-huh.
that?
Yep.
It's not the best source of information.
Yeah.
And I say
Not their
that.
specialty.
Yeah, exactly. And they know their specialty, and that's fantastic. And I have no problem with them learning other things, but that doesn't mean that's their specialty.
Right.
So, and that's okay.
So you think ditch the brown sugar,
Yeah.
use honey instead?
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow morning I was going to do.
But then you're not
that.
done there. You still need a good fat, and you still need protein. And it'd be better to even eat vegetables along with it.
Well, in the morning,
Yeah, why not? What's
You
wrong
know
with that? Morning says no vegetables?
is coffee considered a vegetable?
It's a bean, which is a legume, so bean water. I think we're onto something.
But I'm going to put some
Oh, my
broccoli in
goodness.
it.
Why don't we go back to the Old Testament thing of what a vegetable is, which is anything that comes out of the ground. So that'll include your coffee and chocolate.
There you go.
That's it. Bravo.
See, I can help
Salad.
you with
That's
that if you
basically a
want.
salad.
Amen.
It's basically
I
a
am good
salad.
with this.
Yeah.
You good with that?
I'm good with that. As long as it's
Weird.
involves brown liquid in a cup and hot. I am golden.
I just got a bad visual there. All right. So, going back,
You
eating
stop.
before you work out.
Right.
Okay. So there are a lot of people that say, don't eat before you work out. They say that because they are under the impression that you burn more fat if you don't eat before you work out. Is that true?
Debunked.
Why do you say that? Just for fun?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just thought that's
liked
where we
it.
were
That's
going
good.
with this.
Yeah, ruining it.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you eat and then give it a little time, then work out, yeah, you don't want to eat, run there and work out immediately.
Now, they have about this much truth in what they're saying. So the problem is that anytime there's truth in something, you can completely lie and then make it sound like truth. And I don't think that everyone that says that is lying. I think that the original person that said that lied, and then other intelligent people said, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense logically, and then they carry it through. So I kind of want to believe that more than just, oh, everyone's lying, everyone's against you, everything else. I don't think that's true. I think even, Bill Phillips, he just honestly read what he saw was a fact. And the fact is, you burn a higher percentage of your calories from fat when you don't eat beforehand. So that part's true. Percentage. Notice how I said that. Now, what does that mean, though? That means that if you are able to burn the exact same amount of calories without working out or without eating before you work out versus eating before you work out, then not eating is going to be far better. But the question is, can you do that? Can you give as hard of a workout? And you would know. You did it for years in college. Can you give as hard of a workout to yourself without any food in you? No matter how many coaches are yelling at you.
Yeah. I mean, probably not, yeah.
Probably not.
No.
You don't even try. Because
No,
you work out
no, I
at
don't.
4 or 5 p.m. So it doesn't.
No.
we're-
To me,
we're
it's
trying-
like, by the time I get off work, I'm usually fairly tired.
Yeah.
And, sometimes, you drive and you're looking at the gym and you go, yep, there's the gym. Yep, there went the gym. Yep. Hey, wait, there's the liquor store.
Oh no!
Wait, I'll pull in here. Wait, it's my car does it. It's not me. It's not my
Yeah,
fault.
it's not your fault at all. Yeah, it's auto
It's muscle
drive.
memory for your car, you know?
It is. It's
I get
on
it.
autopilot,
I get it.
But, all kidding aside,
So we use muscle confusion to make it so it doesn't do that? Is that
No.
is that how
I
that
don't think-
works?
I
Is
don't
we
think that would
confuse
help.
it so it doesn't pull in there?
Nope.
No?
Muscle
Then we're just
memory is
gonna
good.
go. Oh, it's good to go to the liquor store.
Yep. Keep
Got
a routine.
it. Got to keep it going there.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not teaching that, so
Okay.
we're
All
not
right.
we're not going there.
Okay. Well, you should.
How's your dry January going, by the way?
Woo, I almost broke it
Oh.
about 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Nice.
And so far I am 9 days dry.
You just looked at a non-watch.
Yep.
By the way.
with, on,
9
That's
days.
good. Congratulations.
Not
It's a
drinking.
Dry January. Do you know what that is?
good for you.
Thank you.
dry
I
January.
appreciate it. It's been
That's good.
hard. It's yep.
Yeah.
I don't suggest it to anybody. So
Well, I've been in the liquor business for decades.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you work at McDonald's, you don't go back there for dinner.
yeah.
And B.B. King said it, the thrill is gone.
Yeah.
I don't really care to drink that much.
Well, and
It
now
leaves you hungover, and it's just not my cup of tea anymore.
Yeah.
she's working on getting other results too in the process. Do you
Yep.
want to share any of that or any?
Yeah, sure. Just trying to cut a bunch of fat, and basically turn it into muscle.
Turn it
Just-
into muscle.
Well, it's
Should we
the
bust
ratios,
that one?
The ratios. Starting with
You
that.
can convert muscle, or wow, you can get fat and dirt. Wow, I want to know how this works.
I've been practicing.
As do I, clearly. Yeah, no, so I'm just trying to kind of lose the fat and build the muscle.
Yeah,
Yep.
simultaneously, but not from one another.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, because that's impossible.
Yes.
Right.
That's why.
Right.
Eating healthy, not drinking,
Eating healthy.
So,
It does.
trying to work out.
I mean, my meal today was
well, we're talking about eating healthy before a workout, so I don't want to go off of that.
Before, yeah.
I don't want to go off of that now. Because before a workout, all we figured out so far is you shouldn't, or that you can burn more calories from fat, and that's all. So if someone leaves now, they're going to go do that. And that's terrible, so I don't want to go off that.
Okay.
So don't do that. Why? Because you can't. You can't burn as many calories. They've actually done studies that tested how many calories from fat you burn total overall, and it's basically equal, which means you're suffering like crazy not eating and then getting equal amount of benefit from fat loss as if you don't suffer and you eat properly before you work out. So which one's better?
Probably eating.
so you should
But
eat a
why?
little.
Because it gives you energy, which makes you have a better, harder workout.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it. And then what kind of results will you get from that? You'll get other adaptations, right? You'll get
Sure.
the whatever you're going for, lean muscle gain for you. You'll hit that faster with the actual food in you. You won't hit your head in the shower after working out for an hour and a half and then being in the shower after the steam room. So that's a bonus. I mean,
I would
personally
consider that,
prefer
you know-
that people not actually ending up that way.
Well,
I mean,
Teach their own.
yeah.
amen, yeah.
Do you have some people you wish that
You know, if you
on?
wanna take
I
a
don't know
dive,
this
go for
hateful
it.
side of you.
You don't know me
Please
then.
share. Jeez.
Teach their own.
Yeah. I wonder if I'm on that list after all the comments she made here. Pushing you in the gym a little too hard, are we?
Maybe.
Well, for me, it's like I eat when I'm hungry, and if I'm going to hit the gym, which isn't often enough, it truly isn't. But
But that'll change though.
yeah, that is, and I'm going to get my knee replaced soon. And with that happening, then I'll be back on the trail. I like hiking and stuff, but yeah, I eat a little bit, maybe an hour or so before I go.
Well, and that's what we would need to talk about is what's optimal before a workout. So have you played with that? I mean, I think I've
Well,
pretty much talked to you
you
about
told
exactly
me.
what to do, but before
Yep.
I told you that, did you play with that at all?
I didn't play with times.
Okay.
Basically, it was whatever my schedule allowed me to do.
Okay.
If all I had in my kitchen were eggs,
Yeah.
then it may take me a little bit to make the eggs and
Sure.
whatnot, and whatever. So I never really scientifically thought about it.
Yeah. And then you didn't plan things well enough, even if you
But
did.
I do remember coming in here and being like, I'm going to throw up, one, or two, I just feel sick. There were a couple times where I just felt sick, and I was like, this is terrible.
Right.
But I remember why.
And what did I tell you?
Those mornings I had too many fats.
Okay.
So like avocado toast with like eggs with yolk
Yep.
and yeah, I don't remember if there were anything else, but
Yeah,
I
and,
just remember
and those are
too
good.
many fats.
Those are all good fats too. It's not like you're sitting there with margarine or
French fries,
soybean oil French fries.
Which-
yeah.
vegetables in the morning could be fun.
You know what? I do have avocados.
I think
I
she was
mean-
talking about French fries.
French fries? I could do French fries in the morning.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, that would be great. I mean,
I don't consider that a good
Captain
vegetable,
Crunch,
I'm
is there
sorry.
veggies in there?
No. And do you peel it? Do you peel the?
I could try. I mean,
So if you peel, okay, here's the deal. If you peel the potato, then if you eat the peel, then I'll count it.
no. I could do French fries in the morning. But truth is, I do my egg whites, and I have a piece of avocado. And,
Everyone likes avocados.
what's that?
Interesting. Avocados
I like
are good fat,
avocado.
but it's just
Avocados
both of you
always-
mentioned avocados. So
They're
it's just-
always on my countertop.
That's like one of the big things right now is eating
Yeah.
a lot of avocados.
I love avocados
Yeah,
That
they're,
and English
they're
muffin.
flavorful. You know why they're so good?
because they're high in fat.
You know how much fat?
A lot.
32 grams for an average avocado.
Perfect.
How much do you eat at once?
Oh, I'll eat a full one.
I
I'll
must have had.
spoon it.
That's a little bit too much at once.
Ah, yes.
I
Which
had
is
a-
what you felt in the workout.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I had a whole avocado today.
yeah, that's too much.
Is it?
Yeah. 32 grams of fat in one meal is too much fat. And like,
Well,
well,
late.
now we will talk about, there will be a podcast where we will talk about the keto diet, which the keto diet would say
Yes.
that is a good thing. And so we will talk about that. We will talk about the good, the bad, the ugly about that. And I will say that it's not all bad. I will start with that because I am mentioning that we're going to do that in the future. But aside from that, I want to lay off of that right now because I don't want to spoil anything more with that. However, I can tell you that the timing is incredibly important before a workout. So optimal timing is not a half an hour before. It's not 2 hours before.
It's 1 hour before.
It's an hour and a half
It's
before.
an hour and a half before. I listened well.
I missed that on the test there.
It's okay.
I was close. Within 30 minutes.
Well, an hour is still a lot better than like a half an hour or something like that. And that could be what I told you because of your half hour, option
Maybe.
of I just threw something together
Yeah, maybe.
and I was like,
Or I just
well,
wasn't listening.
yeah, that could be too. All the squats they make you do.
Yep, it's true.
And you're like, I hate this guy.
It takes me about an hour and a half once I get up, get dressed, get eaten, take the dog out and everything. So if I eat,
But you don't work out in the morning, so that's irrelevant.
I don't work out much at all.
But see, okay, but we're gonna find a good workout time for you. So what's a good workout time for you?
Yesterday,
No, you started on Monday.
I did. It's my lawyer. Talked to her.
Yeah. No, she's
Started
your
on
realtor.
Monday.
Yeah, I just yeah.
Realtor and lawyer.
Similar.
Is that your
No,
second
we
thing?
both do legal documents.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Early
Similar.
Similarities.
Early afternoon would be good for me.
Okay.
It's when I still have energy.
know about
Yes,
2
that's
o'clock
what
in
I'm
the
saying. Early
evening,
afternoon,
2
it's
p.m.,
great.
4 p.m. What are we talking?
Yeah, 2, 3.
2 or 3?
late
2 or
morning.
3. Which one?
2, 3.
No,
it doesn't make
which
a
one?
difference.
No, it does make a difference. Because
All right,
you're
four.
not going to keep yourself accountable if you don't decide.
I have chocolate at home. Trust me, there's no accountability today. Let's see. I would have to think if I am not at work, 3 o'clock would be about perfect.
Okay, let's
That's
say-
before I get too tired and I still have energy.
And that's a tough one right there because you just said 3 o'clock because you're at work before that. I just said an hour and a half before. That means that you have to figure out a time before you leave work at 1:30 p.m. to eat.
That's my normal lunchtime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't eat
Well,
at
you do
noon
that.
with the rest of the crowd.
Nice.
I'm always a late eater because that's just the way I am.
And that works for you.
What does?
Hour and a half?
Yeah.
You do an hour now.
Hour to an hour and a half. Meet you in the middle at an hour 15.
Nice. Nice.
Negotiating.
I like it. So an hour and a half right before workout, doesn't matter what time it is, that is better. Now, we'll say you're a 5 a.m. worker-outer, okay? Because I'm going to have some people on here that are like, dude, I wake up at 5 a.m. I'm at the gym at 5:15. I'm at work at 6:30 or whatever the case is. So they can't. They'd have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning in order to prep their food and then eat it. They can't do that.
Right.
So what about for those people? What do you think might be a good alternative?
Carb load the night before.
If you're up at 5 a.m., the house better be on fire. You know.
No, there are people that actually get up at that time on purpose.
On purpose.
Yeah. Actually, my dad, talking about someone on purpose, he likes to get up at 3:30 in the morning. I mean, that's his favorite time to wake up. Like he wants to. And I've asked him before. I was like, wait, but why?
He knows that there's better parts of the day, right?
What time does he go to bed then?
Usually like 8 or 9.
Okay, still
Yeah.
3:30 in the morning. I'm going
What
to
does
the
he do?
bathroom. That's it. Letting the dog out. No.
Yeah.
3:30.
He's
If
been
the
a
alarm goes
contractor
off,
his
is
whole
there something
life.
wrong?
So, but I mean, he's an early riser. But he liked that time in the morning. At first, I think he liked to get a lot of
Does
paperwork
it
done.
still
and things
count? I
like
mean, is that the morning technically? I just feel like it's still the night. You can't.
12:01
It
is technically morning.
People are coming home from
That's
bars
still the
still.
nighttime. That's
They're
nighttime.
still coming home from bars.
That's what I'm saying. If I can
I
come
know.
home, if I can come home, it's still nighttime.
Are we pushing a subjective opinion about when night and morning are?
Nope.
I think
Is
we
that what
are.
you're
Yep.
kind of claiming here?
I think
Going
I
with the
am.
subjective.
Yes.
Oh, I don't like subjective. But you can have that opinion. That's
Thank you.
totally fine. I don't care. Doesn't bother me.
No, I mean, New Year's, my son rolled in at 5:15 a.m. He said, I rolled in an Uber, and my neighbor was getting ready to go to work. And I said, good
Proud
for
of you,
Okay.
son. Proud of you, son.
Yep. He said that. I said, he's 28. He's like, God, Dad. He goes, it was great. They went to the string cheese incident, met the drummer, and then they all went and hung out at his,
Is that a band?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they all went and hung out at his hotel and drank Dom Perignon. I said,
That's
good
amazing.
for you. And he goes, we drank all night and I had to get an Uber home.
That is another topic that we're going to have to talk about. Alcohol. Would you like to be a part of that? Being
I will bring the alcohol.
really.
And we'll-
Maybe when I'm on my high horse on January 31st, just
I'll bring the
loving
liquor.
life. What?
I'll bring the Jaeger.
Perfect.
Well, there-
February 1st is on a
There are a
Friday.
few topics that deal with alcohol, though, like the sugar turns into fat, or the alcohol turns into sugar type of a thing, and then the things like that. So there are topics that we could talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And then it actually does inhibit performance.
Oh, I'm very aware of that.
Oh, you are? You felt that?
Very
so,
aware of that.
Okay, we just covered that.
Yes.
I guess we don't have to. do
I'm
that
old
anymore.
enough to know. It's a lot of things.
So nice. So, for those 5 a.m. people, those people that wake up early, like my dad. My dad wakes up at 3:30. If he had to be at work at 4, and if
Yeah.
he had to, or well, I guess it wouldn't be 4. It'd be like he had to be at work at 5, and he wants to work out first.
I can see that.
He would-
I understand that.
His best bet is to eat something at least small that has a little bit of protein in it and a little bit of carbohydrates in it. I wouldn't say a piece of bread or something like that. But
Bagel.
bagel's very high on the glycemic index, so I'm going to say no.
Okay.
It is boiled bread, usually white, usually includes soybean oil, usually
Better
includes
than
a lot
fried
of things
bread.
Bagels are boiled?
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew that.
It's better than
course
fried
you
bread. They call those donuts.
Donut.
I have friends that are cops. I know about donuts.
Oh, come
It's
on.
true.
Dan.
It's true.
Oh, come on,
Oh,
Dan.
you can smell that donut on his breath a block away. You go,
Dan. We're not talking about that. We're talking about eating before a workout, how to help people do that, okay? So they
donuts.
need, no, donuts are terrible before your workout. Too much fat all at once. Sugar, which gives you a high, your blood sugar skyrockets.
Let's start this again. Don't listen to him eat a donut. It's fine.
I'm on
Totally
this
cool.
guy's side.
Have two. We'll go get donuts. We'll hold him down. We will stuff him like a muppet.
Hey, Dan, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to take my advice. Does it, I mean,
I'm bringing
have
donuts
you,
the next
have you
time?
honestly taken all of my advice since you've known me?
What's your name?
Oh,
Yes,
my
I
gosh.
have. Actually, yeah. I give him trouble because I don't know why.
Why not?
Why not? Exactly.
It's fine. I can handle it.
He can
No
handle it.
donuts.
No donuts.
Because you're my client right now.
Yep.
I gotta tell you that.
No
It's
donuts.
like no donuts. Anyway, you can do what you want, but
I don't eat donuts.
yeah, that's good. So before a workout, I would say actually the oats are actually a decent pre-workout at that point, but then you need something else. Like even if you had some sort of protein, any protein
What about
at
like
all,
a
I don't
protein
care.
shake?
You could do that, absolutely. You could absolutely do a protein shake, and that's actually an easy way to do it. But protein shake by itself isn't great because it doesn't have that energy. You need that energy. So we should actually talk about the energy because that's super important for this talk. So with the energy for a workout, how does that come? How does that work? How do we create energy? How do we use the energy? Anyone know?
You got me on that one. I'd eat my oatmeal and I'm good to go in an hour.
Hour and a
You know.
half, you're even better.
Well, hour and a half, hour and 18
Hour and
minutes.
15. We got it down.
Hour 18.
We got it down.
Okay, ATP. You remember that from?
ATP.
ATP.
You know me. No.
No, I think that's a
Got it.
different song.
Okay.
Nice try though.
Thanks.
I like that. Yeah, ATP, adenosine triphosphate.
Okay.
Still at a loss? That's okay.
Totally.
T, tri. Tri means what? Three. Tricep, 3 muscles, right?
Okay.
Okay, bicep, 2 muscles. Quadricep, 4 muscles. You have biceps back here also. Anyway,
Okay.
and the hamstrings. For those that aren't watching, I just pointed at the people watching. That was super awkward. Makes no sense. Anyway, so tri means 3. You have 3 phosphates surrounding something called an adenosine. Okay? And I know this sounds like we're getting into some pretty great nerdy
It was around the what
science
is it?
stuff. Adenosine.
Adenosine.
Adenosine. It's
Okay.
Yeah. I went to Denison Elementary, but that's not what I'm talking about.
I thought you said a dentist. You know,
Well, it starts with an A. It's adenosine. Anyway, so adenosine, ATP. So you have an adenosine, 3 phosphates surrounding it. One of those breaks off and gives us our usable energy. That's how we get energy. So it's all about creating more of this ATP.
I knew that.
However, yeah, exactly. Of course,
I knew
you did.
that.
I knew you knew that.
I'm smart like that.
Yeah,
I
right.
can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell.
So
Got a lot of
with
secrets in that beard.
Some food too.
yeah.
I thought that was just gray.
No.
Wait a minute. Is there
Wisdom, is that what that is? Wisdom.
Powdered sugar from the donuts.
Oh, right. That's right. I think it's left over from his Halloween costume. Anyway,
things happen?
so ATP, adenosine triphosphate, breaks off. The energy ends up being used and then converts into carbon dioxide. We breathe it out. Fun story. But how much of this ATP would you think that we have in our muscles at any given point in time? In our muscles, ready for us to work out?
What are we measuring in?
Time.
Time?
Yeah, hours, seconds, minutes, whatever you want. How long of a period of time do you think that we have worth of stored ATP?
Probably not much.
2.5 hours, maybe 3.
I was
Okay.
going to say like seconds.
What's your guess?
Like 3 seconds.
Ooh, she's closer.
Well, I don't believe it.
It's between 1.26 and 1.32 seconds in the studies that I've read.
Show off.
I think she may have slightly remembered
was
a little
studying.
bit about what I maybe told her one time during one of those workouts.
I black out. So I can't really listen.
It's
Sometimes he
osmosis.
talks and I just do my workout and he's talking.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, osmosis is right.
That's pretty good. So if you only have 1.26 to 1.32 seconds worth, then how do we create more? Because obviously your workouts last a lot longer than that. Your sets last a lot longer than that.
Chipotle,
We're not at the food yet.
donuts.
Oh my gosh, no. Okay, you have 3 energy systems.
Okay.
ATP is only part of the first one.
Okay.
It's called ATP-CP. So there's just more acronyms. CP stands for creatine phosphate. You follow me still?
Yep.
When do we get to the donuts?
We're not at.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so are you gonna hang up on the donuts? Can we get to the science?
Back to donuts?
No. Do you want me to come back to you when we're at the donuts? I'll just
Yes,
keep
would
talking
you
to
please?
Becca. Okay.
All right.
All right, Becca. We're just gonna talk to you right now. He's on donuts, so whatever. I think he's taking a. Are you taking an order right now? Anyway,
Gonna call an order in?
I don't want a long john.
You're not getting any donuts.
Good. So ATP-CP. So that CP, what that does is the creatine phosphate, it has a phosphate attached to the creatine, and it gives up its phosphate when it meets this now ADP. Why is there ADP? Because ATP breaks off a phosphate. There's ADP and P. Did you follow me on that? Okay. So the ADP is now diphosphate, right? Adenosine diphosphate,
There's
two of them.
Yeah.
So the ADP gets a phosphate from the creatine phosphate. So creatine goes off by itself, more ATP. We have more energy that we can use. So the second way is you have an ADP meets another ADP, says, hey, have a phosphate. So one of those gives up a phosphate. You end up with AP and ATP. Sound interesting?
Now in
Okay.
English.
How? I don't think I could get more English on that. I mean, you're on the donuts.
We're back to donuts again.
No, you're still there.
I am with a
I was
damn
talking-
donut.
I was talking to Becca about this.
I know. Let's just go
But
get
did that
donuts,
not make
forget
any
about it.
sense? I mean, it's complicated, but
It is. It sounded. I was listening, but it sounds complicated. How one
you have a
comes on
bunch
and
of
one comes
you
off.
have a bunch of chemicals that just say, "Hey, I'd like to give you this in order to create more of what you need." That's the long and short of it. And because of the CP portion of the ATP CP energy pathway, you end up with generally from 8 to 20 more seconds, and it could go longer than that, but we'll call that the average.
Okay.
Okay, so you have 8 to 20 seconds. Have you done sets longer than that?
Yes.
What? How?
So after you use the energy,
So
then you start burning fat.
No, we're not at the fat yet. We're only through the first energy system.
Okay.
Now we go through the second energy system. Now we're always regenerating this. So this is always happening while we kickstart the second one at the same time. So don't think like, oh, that stops and this starts. It's more, oh, I guess that's not enough. We'll keep doing our job. Hey, can you come help? So the come help part, the second energy system, is
Okay.
with glycolysis is what it's called.
Sugar.
Sugar. Yeah.
What's it
Glucose. It's called glycolysis. That's the actual energy pathway. And it's
Okay.
utilizing glucose
Okay.
or glycogen. Okay? Now, you could actually utilize amino acids with this as well. You have this process called gluconeogenesis that your liver does that takes an amino acid and says, hey, I'm going to convert you into a sugar. So it could take a protein, convert it into a sugar, so they can use it for this process.
And it was called a glucose.
Gluconeogenesis.
I think I've heard of this band. Yes. Yeah. Are they
that a
from the
We had a
80s?
song on the radio.
Are they from the 80s, right? Yes.
I think it's been around a long time.
Can we just go back to
Longer than
donuts?
that. He's still on donuts.
All right, so we're back on donuts.
Well, I'm back over
Okay,
at Becca
let's
over
just
here.
change it all. We're gonna do donuts. And we're not gonna worry about what they're saying. Nobody's talking. We'll just talk donuts. So we have glaze.
So CP, glycolysis. All right, let's go back to that. So we
Okay.
have glucose and glycogen. What are those two? Those are different types of sugars. You know what they are?
Glucose. and
Not donuts. Shut up.
It's like sugar. Like I always think of fruit, right?
Okay, but no, you're going too far there.
Gotcha.
So no, we're talking about glucose is blood sugar. That's all, just blood sugar.
okay.
That's it. It's just
Okay.
the sugar that's broken down from whatever source,
Okay.
turned into your blood.
Got it.
Could be the amino acids,
Sure.
gluconeogenesis. Could be from what you ate. Either way, that's what it is. Okay, so the glycogen is your stored sugar. When I say stored sugar, what immediately comes to mind? Fat, right? That's not what I'm talking about at all. It's not fat. It's not stored fat. It's sugar that's stored in your muscles and liver. Okay, you have stores in your muscle and liver for glycogen. And that's very important
okay.
for usable energy. Okay, the average person can hold about 2,000 calories worth of glycogen at any given point in time.
I hold a lot of sugar in my liver, usually.
I can do. I can.
Are we talking about sugar or something else?
You tell me.
I mean, does it convert or not?
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, so most of it's your muscles that actually increase. The liver, if it increases in size, I guess, but that's a bad thing, so let's not do
Okay.
that. You don't want to increase with your ability to hold more sugar in the liver. That's bad.
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 Yes.
Don't do it.
No.
Bad.
Okay.
Okay, got it?
Yep.
We good?
Yep.
We're back.
We're back.
Yes, donuts are bad.
Donuts.
Good. Glad you're on.
Like a caveman.
You're on the Dan!
What? All right, let's go back to what you were saying. No donuts.
Oh my
Donuts
gosh!
bad.
I'm gonna have a talk with you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he's in trouble afterwards. You just wait. You won't get to see it. All right. Glycogen is stored. Now we've actually studied and found that you can actually increase your storage in your muscles pretty significantly. We've measured endurance athletes that actually can store up to 10,000 calories worth of glycogen in their muscles at any given point in time. That's a lot. That's a lot of calories. So that is broken down. So the glucose is broken down and the glycogen is broken down in a similar way. And the glycogen, you end up with 3 ATP molecules after the breakup. And then we'll call it a breakup. It's broken up now. It's breakup. It's like what you did to your wife. And I'm just getting you back for the donuts.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
I'm bringing donuts next time.
I'm not eating them.
I didn't ask for any.
So, good.
Right here.
So with along with those ATPs, you end up with something called pyruvic acid. Have you heard of that? Pyruvic acid? This all back in chemistry class.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Chemistry class, right? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone pays attention to that, right? So
I use algebra every day too.
good.
See, another day I've not used algebra. I owe this to my teacher back from the high school.
I've actually
You're
used
going
a lot
to use
of
algebra. Yeah. Never used
Never.
You
algebra.
can use trigonometry in here.
Don't make me hit you.
I could show you. Want me to show you some
No.
formulas when we're done?
No, then I'll be left like I actually used algebra.
Oh, okay. I mean, physics, too. It's physics.
That I can understand.
Yeah.
No,
Anyways,
anyway,
so I'm talking to Becca still, because you're still on
Yes, I'm
donuts.
still
You
on
said that
donuts.
like 10 times, so we're going back over here.
Glycogen.
Glycogen converts into what?
Glycogen converts into blood sugar.
ATP.
ATP. You
Yeah.
know me.
Yeah, there you go. And then pyruvic acid.
Pyruvic acid.
And then the glucose also does, but instead of the 3 of ATP, you get 2 ATPs out of the glucose, and then still 2 of the actual pyruvic acid. So it's actually more beneficial to have the glycogen than the glucose, just from that. And the reason is this pyruvic acid serves a interesting purpose. It serves a purpose if there's oxygen present or not within this mitochondria where all this happens. Did you know all this happened in the mitochondria? Yeah, you knew.
pyruvic acid
Yeah.
and okay. These are a lot of big words he's using.
So
Bring your
mitochondria.
dictionary, kids.
We're gonna need like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or a thesaurus or whatever it is.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
You know that book,
Yeah, thesaurus.
Yeah, that, thesaurus,
Or
right.
dictionary's fine.
That works, too.
Dictionary's probably better than thesaurus.
Or your iPhone.
Yeah, you can just look it up.
You
Exactly.
guys are smart.
So, anyways, what we're talking about? We're
We're
talking,
talking about donuts.
No, I'm not talking to you. What are we? What are we talking about, Becca?
ATP, you know me.
ATP, you know me, and the pyruvic acid, and what that does inside the mitochondria, which is in the
Yes.
cell. It's the powerhouse. It's the energy creator of the cell, right? You knew that. Never mind. Donuts.
Donut.
Inside the donut hole.
So if there's oxygen present, then the oxygen, pyruvic acid, they go over, start the whole citric acid cycle. That's the third energy system with the oxidative pathway. So it essentially unlocks your ability to burn fat. Okay, so very important right there with that. Okay, if there's no oxygen present, which means that basically all of the oxygen is being used by the pyruvic acid, so it's all being carried over there, then it immediately converts to something else that you've probably heard of called lactic acid.
Lactic acid.
Lactic acid.
You hear that from your, I almost said proctologist, your chiropractor.
Oh, there you go.
Lactic
Freudian
acid.
slip there, you know, what do you want?
Lactic acid.
Yeah, but he
from-
says after he crunches you up.
Yeah, because
he
Freud
says-
got like 2% right with what, anyway.
He says, you got lactic acid in your joints.
Yeah.
Like you told me after you helped me with my sciatica.
Okay.
And you were saying, stretch and you gave me a whole list of things to do.
Yeah.
To keep that from stiffening up on me.
Yeah, but it wasn't from lactic acid in general.
Maybe that was something in the 70s I did then.
Probably.
That's
So I
probably
could
it.
probably. Oh, I did go to the
Now there
Grateful
can
Dead,
be
you know.
there can be if you have some sort of I'll use a big word again, neurological inhibition, which is what causes sciatica.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a nerve block. That's in English what that means. If a nerve block is there, that means that there's soft tissue that's not getting the ample blood supply that it should, and that means that there are things there that get trapped, which could include lactic acid. However, this is actually kind of a fun discussion because you've heard of DOMS and everything, right? The delayed onset muscle soreness.
Yeah, I've heard.
Like
no.
soreness after working out, 24 to
yes.
48 hours later, that's called DOMS. And DOMS is basically something that everyone said, oh, that's from lactic acid, which of course is from this whole product of glycolysis, and then not having the oxygen and then creating a lot of it. But the interesting thing is when we do muscle biopsies, after an hour of working out, there's basically none left.
No lactic acid left?
Yeah, in the muscle. So it basically all gets dissipated by that point. So it's not, the soreness is not caused from lactic acid.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So what's the soreness caused from? I know this is a little bit of a tangent, but it kind of still applies.
Is it caused from not having any sugar or like glucose or anything?
No,
ATP?
it doesn't apply that closely. No.
Well, isn't it just unused muscles? I mean,
Unused? Well, you
Well,
just
muscles
use
that
them.
you don't use.
Is it because every time you work out, your muscles tear a little bit?
Ooh, that was a theory like 30 years ago. Yeah, so you just quoted like someone from a long time ago, which is awesome. But no, that's
Okay.
not it. But yeah, I have heard that.
Okay.
It's not true.
All right.
If you tear a muscle, what happens? You can't use it for a while.
Yeah.
That's bad. So it's not tearing muscles.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to call it micro tears, but I think that was inaccurate as well because it's not really micro tears. A more appropriate definition would be micro trauma. So when we're lifting weights, so we'll say I'm doing a biceps curl, right? And I go down with the biceps curl, that's called the eccentric motion. Up is concentric, down is eccentric, right? Eccentric creates more friction because I'm fighting against the gravity pull. So it creates more friction than when I pull it up. And that more friction, more than likely, causes these little, we can't call it damage as a tear, but it causes these irritations that end up increasing these gaps. And these gaps, because they're increased, you end up with this protein called hydroxyproline that actually...
called what?
Hydroxyproline.
Proline, okay.
P-R-O, proline.
Proline, okay.
And that gets into the little gaps and then hits the nerve and inflames it. That's all.
Well, that was a nice, simple way of putting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't have said it better
Remember
myself.
that because there will be a test on this later.
Couldn't have said
Well,
it
this
better
is
myself.
online.
Write it
They
down.
yeah, I was going to say, they can keep,
We will be
keep
calling you at
rewatching it.
home and testing you.
You're calling them at home. I
Oh,
don't
well,
have
I'll bring them
time.
donuts.
Yeah, they might give you
I'll
their
bring the
phone number
donuts.
at
I'll
that
give you my
point.
phone number.
Oh my gosh.
We have to get a lot of donuts.
Told you we're done talking about donuts.
You're done with them. I'm not.
So, okay, going back now. So we talked about the soreness caused from all that, and we came to that because of the whole lactic acid. Now the lactic acid does form with that, but if it doesn't, remember, then if there's oxygen present, it starts you can call it Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle, where it actually goes through this whole process to create more ATP with that. So all these three systems work simultaneously. You can get through the actual glycolysis utilizing just the ketones as well as the amino acids. We'll get into that when we talk about the keto diet. However, and I won't go any more detail on that, but does that make sense so far?
Yeah, so circling back around, so
Sure.
what exactly are we supposed to eat in order to give us the most amount of energy an hour and a half before our workout?
Well, if you're talking the easiest way to do it, then it needs to be something that's a complex carbohydrate before a workout in order to break that apart. And then and then have that energy ready basically by that hour and a half point. So if you eat a bunch of fruit, for example, so you eat a banana, apple, and then you have your avocado with it, because who knows why you eat a whole avocado at the same time?
Well, it would vary from person to person, wouldn't you think?
What?
I mean, it varies from everybody as a difference. Because I know if I'm going to go work out before I go work out, if I'm going to do it in the morning, egg whites, avocado, English muffin, I'm golden. Cup of coffee, hour and a half
Say
later,
that again. So you do egg whites,
egg whites, avocado,
avocado,
English muffin together.
English muffin. Okay.
Sandwich.
So your English muffin is the carbohydrate. I don't know what quality English muffin you're getting. You do have some whole grain or whole wheat options there. Most of them are white, obviously.
True.
And it depends
true.
on what's in
Sourdough,
that.
but
Sourdough, okay. And so that I wouldn't call a complex carbohydrate, but that's going to be better than not eating it. So a lot of times when people talk about diet and, oh, I have all these good results because I eat avocado and English muffin or anything like that, it's usually because of what you were eating before and what you switched to.
true.
So what you're doing now is better than what you were doing. That doesn't mean, by definition, it's the best you could be doing.
But you improve in increments. I mean, I was eating
Well,
Captain Crunch.
you improve with
and then
knowledge.
I went to this, and
Captain
then I moved my way down the line.
How old are you?
Keep getting better.
He's like 8 at this point.
9.
Button over there.
I am not 8. I am 9.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. Is it nine and a half?
9.5 next month. All guys are that age. I don't care what age they are. On the inside, we're all 8 and 9. Do you think I'm kidding? You give any man a Hot Wheel, and he'll go, oh, and he will play with it in front of you. He will play with it.
You're not wrong.
Try this out. Any man, just go out
Would
with
your
a
husband
Hot
do
Wheel.
that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
They will play with that Hot Wheel. It's true, man.
I'm going to have to test that out. I haven't met your husband, but that'll be fun. Anyway.
be fun.
Yeah, sounds good. So I don't like to just say, oh, this works for me and this works for me. Like there definitely are differences in people, but it has less to do with, like, what am I trying to say here? It's, you have individual differences, but that doesn't mean that that similar guidelines actually won't help you a lot in actually improving performance. And we're all people, and people tend to create energy the same way. So if you're like an alien, maybe not. Maybe that's why you get away with all the...
We are not all people. I was married.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm
I can
sorry.
tell you, we're talking about aliens again?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. No. Alien.
Sorry, but I was married to the spawn of...
Okay. we're not getting into that.
Sad truth. It's okay. If you're watching, honey, I love you.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Not.
I'm sure you do. No, but yeah, like it's all different for each person, and everyone. That is true and false at the same time. That statement. I don't know if that makes sense, but everyone benefits from certain things, and yes, you have to adapt it to each person slightly. But that doesn't mean that what's best for you is something completely opposite of what's best for someone else. That doesn't make any sense at all, scientifically speaking, because we can't actually. We can test these things.
It's probably
we can
like
test
the
them against each
percentage
other.
of carbs or protein or whatever is different
Absolutely.
for
There's going to be
everybody.
a different percentage, and that's going to be based on the amount of muscle you have, the energy that you actually are going to expend, the type of muscles that you will be using in your activity, the type of muscles and percentage that you end up having. All that changes everything, which I know we don't have time to go into all that stuff, but
Did you say that with an Arnold accent there?
I did not mean
That's
to.
it.
I like
Muscles.
Arnold. I like Arnold.
But he said it like Arnold.
Muscles.
This is certain muscles. You
Hi,
know.
how are
Little
you?
curly man, you know.
How are you? It's great to meet you.
Yeah. I'm Hans. We are here now to talk to you a little bit about our muscles, you know.
Yeah. I'm not built like that anymore. You remember me when I was that built, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, that was scary, wasn't
it was something. I was. That's why I started coming to his gym, because I looked at him and went, "Well, damn." And it's true. That's 20 years later. I'm still at this gym with him. The only thing that's changed is me. He still looks the same.
Yeah.
You know me.
I don't look the same as I did back then.
Neither do I.
I did that on purpose, though.
That's
Did you do it
okay.
on purpose?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
You never heard. Did we not discuss donuts already?
How many times?
That was enough.
That was
it.
like 25 minutes. I don't know.
was 18.
I can count them. I'm going to count
He's
them.
gonna count 'em.
I'm going to count them.
I know.
I'm going to
Next
put it on
time
the
we
screen
see
and
each
be like,
other,
this is how many
there will
times.
be donuts right here.
Add
Donuts.
it to the list.
I will bring donuts. I swear to you.
We'll see if he's a man of his word. All right.
Where are my donuts?
I'm not eating any.
Yes, you are.
You're going to shove them in my mouth?
Next time we're gonna see a wrestling match, me wrestling him and shoving a donut in his mouth.
Oh, that'll be fun.
It'll be
I
fun.
like that.
He wouldn't. I'll straddle him and stuff.
All you have to do is just sit on him, right? And then just.
Oh yeah, we'll just sit on him and
Yeah, see how that works.
be like the Three Stooges.
You might have to
there.
go into some martial arts training. No.
Yep.
We're not
Be
going
like
there.
Three Stooges.
All right. Three Stooges.
Martial arts.
Who is she, Larry? She looks too good for Larry.
Curly or Mo? Well, I don't know. I'd take the Mo.
Oh, you heard the no.
All right. Anyways, so let's get back on track here. Is there anything we missed talking about with this? We talked about the eating and timing. I feel like we need to go back to the people in the morning and what they should eat. So I would agree that like a fruit or something like that would be good along with a protein for those people. And you have those people that actually have thyroid medication that they have to take first, and they can't eat before they take the thyroid, and they have to wait 30 minutes as well. So that's even harder, especially if they're a morning workouter. So if someone's a mom or something like that, then they don't have that many options. They have to do it when they can do it, and that's the only time. So they have to take their medication, and then I'm going to say grab something like a fruit and as well as a protein. I think you need a protein in your actual workouts. The hormones help because of the fats help because of the hormones, but not too much fat.
Not too much.
Not low fat. Low fat's bad also. I need to say that. Low fat is bad. What is low fat?
Bad.
Okay, good job. Good job. Monkey see what you do. What is low fat is defined as less than 15% of your calories from fat.
He's forcing me to say it again.
I am?
Don't make me
I was just
bring.
looking at you, man.
That was enough right there.
Okay, fine. I'm looking back at Becca. Man, you're forcing me to look at her quite often.
I don't blame you. I mean, look at us. I mean, who would you rather look at? Hello.
For sure. Told you,
You know?
beard secrets. You gotta figure them out.
She'd be like the bearded lady at the circus if she had this, you know.
You don't know my
Like
past life.
Like my sister.
Is that last week?
Yep.
Yeah. That's. I was going to say, it looks good since she shaved
Thank
it.
you.
So,
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
I like that. That's good.
My sister has that. Whenever there's a Bigfoot sighting, we have to call and see where she's at.
I hope she watches.
Right.
They give me bananas at the zoo. They go, bananas for your gorilla? I'm like, it's for my sister.
Dan.
True, man. She's a big girl.
Dan. All right.
It's okay, Eva. Whoops, I meant your name's not. No, it's not my sister's real name.
Your sister going to sue you? You can
Well,
say
don't
whatever.
give her
This
right
is
to-
your opinion.
Right.
You
Well,
can have an opinion.
I can.
No, apparently not. I think you can. Maybe you don't
Well,
think
maybe
you
I was
can.
married too long.
Yeah, well, we know that.
I had to run it by her.
Yeah,
Can I have an
we know
opinion, honey? No, you can't.
So, covered everything when it comes to eating as far as before a workout. Did we miss anything? We talked about fats, but we didn't really go deep into it. If you eat too much fat, it ends up basically making it so that your stomach says, hey, I need to digest this. Hold on, I'm going to pull some energy. It doesn't pull a lot of energy if you eat a little bit of fat, so it's fine. But if you go overboard, then it starts to make you feel like you're sick to your stomach and you're going to have to go throw up. Because it's like, it's either this or that. Which one are you picking here? You probably could get used to it if you continued to do that, but is that worth it? Watch the keto episode. Hey, find out.
I'm going to watch that.
But
I need to know about
you
that
might be
one.
part of it too.
Well, I've been thinking about getting involved in it, so
Oh, we're definitely going to have you involved with
Yeah.
it then.
I want to.
in the
I've been reading
episode.
about it and trying to figure it out. And
Hey, this is gonna be
You
fun.
know?
I'm actually gonna have a guest on when we talk about that too, so that's gonna be even more fun. That's gonna chime in from Hawaii. So
you said keto, not keto.
Keto.
Okay,
Keto.
keto.
All right, so we talked about that. Protein is good, and it's actually very beneficial. If you eat protein right before you work out, if you eat too much, once again, you could end up with a sick to your stomach feeling just because it's hard to do both. But eating right before or eating amino acids or even taking amino acids prevents muscle wasting. So that's super important to do. What's muscle wasting? I just like asking you guys questions.
He's forcing me to bring it up again.
It just means in English that you'd basically be breaking down muscle in order to attempt to make everything work with the amino acids, because you use amino acids all the time, and so you need amino acids to repair muscle, to rebuild muscle, and to build new muscle, as well as all the protein or the DNA. You need it for all that and everything else as well, but that's what makes it all, and through the DNA replication process. Should we get into that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
That sounds like a different time.
Just
I
kidding.
got all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ribonucleic acid, anyway, never mind. We're not going to go there. Stop it. Dan,
Next week we'll have a whole episode on glazed donuts
we're not
and
doing
Long
that.
Johns.
He's doing it by himself.
Force feeding them.
We're not feeding me donuts. Oh my goodness. Simple sugars right beforehand, that's terrible. Simple processed sugars, soybean oil, that's what's in a donut.
We'll tranquilize
It's also
him
going
with
to be
the
trans
elephant
fat. We
tranquilizer.
talked about trans fat a little bit in a previous episode. Trans fat's bad. You know that? Yeah, you did know that. Trans fat's bad. So you don't want to eat too much of stuff that's bad, but you do want to eat before you work out. It'll give you a better workout. Giving you a better workout will get you to the results that you're looking for faster. And that's pretty much what it's all about. So, I mean, this was fun.
It was fun.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming. We'll have to do it again.
Absolutely.
And thanks. I'm Sean. This
is.
is Sean's Ruins Fitness. And I think, what did we ruin today? We ruined something today.
Donuts. We ruined donuts.
We ruined that you can't eat donuts for breakfast before your workout.
And we ruined don't not eat.
Don't
before
not-
you work.
don't not-
Don't not eat before you work
Do
out.
not eat.
Oh no, that's bad.
See? Freudian slip there.
Freudian slip. That's right.
Oh, it's not something real. Okay. Thank you and have a wonderfully healthy life.